Welcome to the Chamber Vibes Podcast with your host, Brittany Timmons, the Greater Guthrie Chamber of Commerce CEO and President. In this podcast, you will hear from local guests who will discuss topics such as leadership, small business, and our vibrant community. You'll also hear success stories and tips from amazing local businesses, dive into important news, meet community leaders, and find out how you can get involved in our community. From the Second Banana Media Studios in beautiful and historic downtown Guthrie, America, here is Brittany Timmons.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another episode of Chamber Vibes. Hope you all are doing well whenever you might be watching or listening to this episode. But I am here today with my friend David from Top Tier Martial Arts. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
I like the wave. Yeah, the people listening won't see or hear the wave, but yeah. Yeah. Yes. So how are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Yeah, so Top Tier Martial Arts, located right here, beautiful, historic downtown Guthrie.
Yeah, right around the corner from here.
Yes. So how long have you guys been in business?
Gosh, Heath is actually the owner and the starter originator of the business. I think he started in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, and like a still building on his property.
Here in Guthrie?
No, I actually think he started in Crescent.
Okay.
Yeah, and he moved it here.
Moved to Guthrie.
Yeah, and I'm not sure the year he moved it here. 17 maybe.
Okay. So is he still involved? You manage it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he still runs the class. He's still the whole thing. And we can get into that later how I came over. But when I came over, I kind of just took over as, hey, make this work, because he has other stuff he does too.
Okay.
So it kind of put it to where he only has to run his evening jiu-jitsu classes.
Okay.
And everything else I kind of do for him.
Cool. So what is Top Tier? What all do you guys have going on over there?
So it's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu gym. When I came along, part of what he hired me for was to start a striking class for like a kid's class, because he didn't have that. But yeah, we do Brazilian jiu-jitsu. We do striking classes like boxing, kickboxing. We just partnered up with Ironside Power Asylum. I always get that kind of a tongue twister. Ironside
Power Asylum?
Ironside Power Asylum.
You're going to have to elaborate. What does this mean?
So Connor Vestal, he's
I know Connor. He's a chamber investor.
Yeah. So he came from Tennessee, and he came here. And actually, a couple of years ago, because we put on like summer camps, I was like, why don't we do a weight camp and teach kids how to lift weights? And so he contacted me and was like, hey, I kind of want to do the same thing. He came over and watched what we were doing, and then he started doing. He was just seeing what we were doing. He was already doing it, but. Yeah, he starts this whole program with kids, like getting them into like powerlifting and showing them proper form and all that stuff. He's taken like a lot of people to competitions, and for whatever, I forget the story, but he had a shop shut down where he was at, and he was like, hey, can we partner up since you guys have a gym?
That's awesome.
And so we're doing it all now.
I just learned. I always learn something new on the podcast.
Yeah.
But so shout out to Connor.
Yeah,
Connor
he's awesome.
owns Knucklehead Outdoor.
Yeah, he's
and
really
so
good.
Yes, he does like trash bin cleaning,
Yes.
He washes the windows at the chamber now.
Right.
Yes, so he's a new chamber investor with us. That's awesome.
And we've also got Chris Coutet, that she was doing her Zumba at the library. Now she does it with us full time.
Yes,
and,
I have been.
We have yoga. We have, like I said, summer camps. We do SWAT camp in the summers, where I teach kids how to do SWAT tactics and medicine and stuff like that. So,
that's cool.
Yeah, we do a lot of stuff.
So what ages do you teach?
For any of it?
Yeah.
So jiu-jitsu, we start at like 4.
Okay.
I take them at 5 with the strikings, because we're using pads and there's a little more stuff. I want to be a little bit older. But yeah, 4.
4 and then till 2.
100. 100 plus.
4 to 100.
Yeah, we actually have quite a few people that'll come by like, I'm just too old for this. But we've got, David Sade out of Crescent. He's 66. He's still doing it.
Love that.
We got many 50-year-old plus guys.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's what keeps you young right there is moving and grooving.
Still hurt, you might as well have fun hurting, right? Like,
That's right. I have hurt myself doing Zumba with Miss Chris from the library. But it's, if you have not taken Zumba, and people can drop in for free.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, we do a week for free, as long as you sign the waiver so you don't sue us. But, you do a week for free and see, because though we are kind of probably definitely one of the cheapest places around, because combat sports is really expensive, we still try and like pack as much stuff in there to make it worth it, because we understand it's still an investment, especially in today's economy. That's a buzz thing to say, but it's true. Like, stuff's expensive, so we try and make it super worth it, like almost kind of dumb not to take it.
Right.
Yeah.
So what other services do you provide there?
We have we'll do 10:30. It's kind of a hard spot to fill in the mornings. Most people are at work, but I do have that spot open for personal training. It started actually as women's self-defense.
Okay.
I had a few ladies that were doing that.
Cool.
So we focused on what they could do, and I used to be Gracie's combative instructor for law enforcement, teach them all that stuff. So I just take that program basically, and we give it to women. But the ladies we had, a couple had kids, so they were out and moving away. It just kind of dwindled down to a couple, and then I was like, why don't we just do some personal training, get you guys in shape instead? And that's kind of what it's become. But
Awesome.
we can do that. We can do seminars. There's I forgot her name. She contacted us. She works with battered women, and they're wanting to put on a seminar for that. So,
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys have a sauna, right?
Yeah, we have we have all these amenities too.
Yeah.
We have
Talk about the amenities.
yeah, sorry. We have
okay.
we have an ice bath, we have IR saunas, we have tanning, 24-hour weight room. So we have showers and locker rooms. So like I said, we try to make it just kind of wow, that's a lot for what we're paying.
So can they come and customize their packages, deals? Or?
Not so much. So we do have two different kinds of memberships. We'll do the full membership, which is literally everything. And then when you sign up with us, we'll give you a code as long as you're an adult. We don't give them to kids, but and then you have free access, 24-hour access. You come and go as you please.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have the mat rooms, the bags, all the training equipment, the weight rooms.
So people can do their own workouts and things.
Yeah.
They don't have to be part of the class.
So basically the weight room, the sauna, all the amenities, everything basically but kickboxing and jiu-jitsu is only $30 a month.
Okay.
So you $125 a month, you get it all.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were always running deals, and we do half off for veterans, first responders, paramedic, police.
Very cool.
Anything like
There's
that.
our website right there on the screen
Yeah.
if you're watching on YouTube. So very cool. 12-month contracts with auto draft, save a little bit of money.
Yeah, and and like I said here, if your kids are 4 to 6, they'll knock the price down because we understand every kid's gonna I want to be like this, and they do it for a few months I want to play soccer now. It just happens. That's how kids are.
That makes sense.
We kind of trying to make it a little cheaper so you're not stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, so
very cool. So how in the world did you get into this? Let's talk about your story.
It's kind of funny. It's actually a good segue because that's what happened, right? I was in law enforcement for a long time, and I had a buddy, telling me about it. And I was like, man, I grew up watching UFC, the first ones in my house, like many people did. So he was telling me about it, and I was like, okay, I'll put my kid in it first. threw him out there, see how this works out. That was 2015, the beginning, January, February 2015, at American Elite MMA in Edmond. And like what I was just talking about, my kid, for a month, wouldn't even get off the bleachers. We finally got him into it, but then I was like, come on, I'll do it with you. And then I started doing it, and he was like, I don't really want to go. I was like, oh, well, okay, that's fine. I'll keep going. And he stopped going, and I just stuck with it because I fell in love with it.
That's awesome.
And
were you in law enforcement at that time?
Yes.
When you got into it?
Okay. And that's the thing. And a lot of people, and it's kind of a double-edged sword with that because you'll get a lot of guys, males, that'll come in, especially, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but law enforcement, right? We have kind of an ego thing, right? We're law enforcement, right? And they don't want to take the chance sometimes of going in there and finding out maybe they don't know. Because that's what happened to me. I was a big boy, and I was I can fight. And I had this
Got your confidence knocked down a little bit?
Oh, man, worse than that. It was she was probably 25, 150 pounds, and just annihilated me. I was just wow, okay, I don't know how to fight.
Right.
At all. So that was kind of an eye-opener. But instead of being I was
mad about it?
Yeah, I was I want to learn how to do that.
Right,
really
that's
awesome.
cool.
So,
yeah,
that's kind of how I got started.
Okay.
And then fast forward, I met Heath because I was at the courthouse at the time, running the security over there.
Okay.
And so the old jail, it's 100 and something years old, crazy dungeon. We completely renovated that and made it into a mat room so that we could have training for jail staff and all this stuff.
Okay.
Me and the guy that was the janitor, I guess you'd say. He did more than that, but I'm failing to find the word. But he and I cleaned that up. We painted the ceilings and the walls and everything. And anyway, and so at lunchtime, that was what I would do on my lunch because I would eat really fast and then go downstairs on my lunch hour. And I met Heath, who owns Top Tier, and we would just go down there and spar and roll down there for an hour. And that's how I got to meet him. And then, so I was going to Edmond at the time, and and I live in Luther.
Okay.
So it's 30 miles to here, and then I go home from work, go all the way to Evan and train, and come back. It was just a lot. And he was like, "Why don't you just train at my gym and you just go there before you go home?" I was like, "Well, that makes a lot of sense." So started training with him, and then just wanted to get out of law enforcement. And he was like, "Well, I'll give you a job." And he actually offered me more money, more flexible hours. And I was like, "Okay,
perfect. There you go."
Right. It was really hard to leave because that's my dad retired out of Edmond Police Department. He was did 4 years in law enforcement.
Wow.
I went in law enforcement in 2008.
What you've known.
Yeah. So it was like kind of like hard to like, oh my gosh, to jump off that and go into something different. But it's been awesome.
So how long have you been doing this full time?
Since 2-3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 2-3 years.
So in the pandemic, you made the change during the pandemic?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. We were in the midst of it when I jumped out. So yeah, I was
started a new job a week into it. So this job.
Yeah.
It was wild.
But it turned out great.
Good.
And we're doing a lot of fun things. I get a lot of leeway to do things like that. He kind of just lets me run free, and I just take it and
awesome.
Try and do as much cool stuff as I can.
Yeah, and you're in this awesome building in downtown Guthrie.
Yeah, and that's so how that happened was we were off Harrison, and I
do remember that.
We had a family come in, the Kennedys, and Ben and Lisa and their 2 kids started doing jiu-jitsu with them, and they were like, "Hey man, like we're wanting to buy buildings around here. Why don't we like build the best, awesomest, coolest jiu-jitsu place in the world?" And he was like, "Okay." So they bought the Crest building.
Okay.
They dumped, gosh, I don't want to say.
There's some
like
pictures
close
there.
to maybe $1 million in renovations.
Wow.
It was a dump over there, but they've made it beautiful. And it's awesome. So it's like it's a pretty nice place.
Got a nice kitchen. I know we had Chamber Coffee up there.
It's beautiful.
That's awesome.
And now they've got the Crest Event Center on the 3rd floor, which my wife and I are going to be managing booking and stuff like that.
We'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about that, David. We got to get that. Got to get that part of the chamber.
I'll plug that in there.
That's okay. I'll let you plug that. No, I've seen pictures. I didn't get to go to the open house, but it looks amazing. I know. Don't hold it against me. It looks amazing, and I'm super excited about it. Like I just admire those that are willing to take on big projects like these old buildings, but they're so valuable and important to our really history and our architecture and our tourism and everything.
Right. Yeah.
So to see them come alive or to stay alive, and I know that's just so much time and money in itself.
It is.
So.
And they tried really hard to stick with, they didn't just gut it and, they tried to stick with all the original woods and really try and keep it original as much as they could. But it looks awesome in there.
That's awesome. Very cool. So you're not originally from Guthrie.
No, I was born and raised, graduated out of Edmond. Had a bunch of ties in Luther with friends. That's where I met my wife when we were kids. And then, 15 years ago, I moved out to Luther.
Okay.
So that's where I've been ever since.
And then you got on with Logan County, so that's how you ended up in Guthrie?
Yeah,
okay.
So actually we got married in 2008 at the depot.
Okay, very
But other
cool.
than that, I'd probably been to Guthrie maybe twice. I just never came up here.
Right.
But then, I was up here actually with my parents, and my dad was like, "Hey, why don't you go try Logan County?" And and that was it. I was here since 2009, February 2009.
Yeah. And even though you don't live here, this is like still, you spend, sounds like the majority of your time here.
Much of my time.
Second home for sure.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So since you are, obviously, helping run a business here in town, and then you're downtown Guthrie, like what are some of your favorite things about Guthrie?
I hate to say it, but the vibe. It is. It's it's just nice.
That's okay. You can say that.
It's like everyone's like the vibe's so good. It's like but it.
We do have a
is.
cool vibe.
It's awesome being down here, especially like when we first were coming in and trying to really advertise. Like I do what I had to do at the gym and just walk around town, talking to people, passing out cards, and just seeing it develop and kind of being a part of that history. Like Top Tier will be part of Guthrie's downtown history and just being able to see that. It's pretty
And then
cool.
you guys are just in the heart of everything for all the fun, events and things like that.
The Halloween deals, the Christmas deals, everything like that. We get to kind of participate in that and be a part of that. So
yes. Whenever I was walking around, there's some pictures there on the screen of some of their students. Zumba girls, yes.
Stuff, Arkansas.
But when I was walking around downtown Trick or Treat, I didn't even get into you had so many kids, but I was like, oh, those are my friends.
It was crazy.
Yeah, but I love that you like make them come in to see the facility a little bit, instead of just standing out front.
Yeah, and every year Heath will dress up as like I think he's Scooby-Doo this year.
Yes,
so
I love
like,
that.
Oh, Scooby's getting beat up, whatever. But
very cool.
Yeah, we do morning classes, evening classes. We're kind of able to fulfill whatever you guys need or whoever's coming in.
Are you open 7? I know the 24-hour access obviously would be 7 days a week, but do you have classes on the weekends as well?
No, we do. It's called open mat. It's just a time period where anybody can come in and spar, roll, whatever you want to do.
Okay. What does that mean? You're
So-
talking to somebody that does not know
that's
the
why
lingo.
I said spar because most people understand what sparring means. But like when
I've heard that.
So when you're sparring in jiu-jitsu, you call it rolling.
Okay.
We're rolling because we're on the ground and we're
Literally rolling. Right. I mean,
around.
I figured that's what it meant.
Right.
But.
So that's just what you call it. You get your rolls in.
Okay.
But yeah, that's kind of what everybody wants to come in and do. But yeah, it's awesome. We have quite a few vets and law enforcement stuff like that. But even if you look, that's something I'll jump in down here in a second. But the effects it has on like PTSD. There's been lots of studies with jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and PTSD, and how they're seeing people getting off medications even.
That's amazing.
Just because, and here's the kind of deal is like when you're so preoccupied with not dying from someone's hands, your brain actually, it sounds counterintuitive, but it gets to rest. Because a lot of what PTSD is the constant ramping up of certain chemicals and thinking about situations, and that's what usually drives a lot of the behavior the negative behavior that people have with it, because the brain doesn't rest. So when you're physically entangled with someone, it allows your body to rest, and that's why like people get like endorphins from running. Or same kind of idea, right? You're flooding your body.
I danced my
with
whole
these
life,
stress.
and it was a very physical and emotional thing.
Absolutely,
because of the release and things.
And I bet after like a really hard practice, you just you feel good. You feel good. You want to do more. We see that a lot. We have guys that's literally what they come to us for. They're like, I have to come here.
Wow.
Like, I need to come here. I don't get here, and I'm like that way too. Now that I do it full time, I do 9 classes a week. Like if I'm kind of coming off of a shoulder injury, I've just got back, but I start getting edgy. I'm like, I need to do something. Like I need to go fight somebody
in a healthy way,
in a peaceful way.
Yes.
What you do, your body comes accustomed to that stress release, and it's really beneficial for a lot of people.
That's amazing. I had no idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool. So you have different levels, I assume. So somebody like me could walk in and be like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I barely know what this is called. And I think you can start from the beginning.
Absolutely. And I try and tell that kind of back to that crowd I was to, well, I'm too old for that kind of, people look or think, and they have these pre-existing understandings of stuff like martial arts, and growing up in the 80s is I did, karate with the different color belts. That was big whenever I was a kid. They think it's karate, and they think you got to go in there and just fight for your life, and it's nothing like that. Like,
do you break boards?
No. I mean, we might occasionally.
I just remember people I know
with
taking classes where when you could break your board, that's like a big deal. Yeah. Not that does not happen at top tier. Okay, good to know.
But we pride ourselves, because not all gyms are created equal in that aspect. That there are some gyms that you go into and they're there to fight, and people kind of get burned out by that, which is fine. I mean, to each their own. Right. We just like to be like, our motto is train today so you can train tomorrow. Like, we don't want you coming in today and killing yourself so that's the next week you're so broken and hurt and sore. You're just like, I can't train, because that's not consistency. Right. So we try and pair people, mostly like newer people, with experienced people. That way they can be taken care of. It's safer. Okay. When you have 2 new people, you don't know what'll happen. Someone's going to break a finger or hitting their nose, because people just go crazy. Right. And it's through the process of doing it all that you kind of learn to slow down, calm down, take things and learn things and do things. So we really try and take, especially new people, we're trying to build our women's program back up. So, when you come in. Shout out, yeah. I really should. I feel like I could use the punching bag sometimes. Yeah, go for it. Come on by. But no, we try to really make sure everybody's
Who couldn't,
safe,
though, right? We all have those days you're like, oh my gosh.
Right. We just want everyone to be paired up and, like I said, be able to come back the next day. That's the main thing. That's awesome. Because if you're the kind of guy that wants to come in there and get froggy, there's definitely people in there that are willing to meet your needs. But as general, we want you to just come in and enjoy it and learn and see the beauty of it, and then that's what hooks people. It's not like we're selling some special product. We're doing the same thing basically as other jiu-jitsu gyms.
Yeah.
We just know that in itself is enough. If we can get you to see it for what it is, then you'll be like, okay, I like that. That's fine.
Yeah.
So
Very cool. Yeah. That's awesome. So do you have any upcoming events, camps, things people should know about?
No, I mean we've got a special running right now. We've got a few slots left. It's $99 for full membership. We're doing like a limited number on those. Just try. Summers are really hard for us, which is counterintuitive to me. Like when I first started, I thought summer was just going to be crazy busy because people have more time.
Right. That's what I would think.
We're dead in the summer. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's really weird. And it's
you do some events, camps, and stuff like you said. The SWAT.
We do the summer camps. I do the SWAT camp
because kids are out of school, and I know
right.
I try to find camps for my kids.
And honestly, I think we run a pretty cheap price on it, but comparatively from what I saw, they're summer camps. But yeah, summer will tank us, and then in the fall we have to try and get people motivated to come back in. And I think what it is just in summer, most people's schedules are just chaos.
It's true. People are vacationing
But when kids are in school, it regiments people's routines, and then they can be like, okay, we do have this block in which we can do these things.
This day and time.
Let's do that.
Right.
But that's always the battle with it all. But yeah, we got our special going right now. We've got we try and always make a showing, like I said, for the big stuff downstairs or downtown.
So we got Christmas coming up.
Yeah, well, we decorated for that. But as far as like events and stuff, I don't think we have anything. We're waiting for what we are going to be planning on doing is with the Crest Adventure Center, because we have a cage up there. We're trying to bring in promotions like Roll in the Cage. So we'll have like live fighting matches up there on the third floor, and we'll have participants in that, and obviously hope other people from other gyms will participate in that. So, but yeah.
That's very cool. Very unique business. You have students from all over Logan County come?
Yeah. We have people from out of state come when they, because we'll have like, we had a lady from England. She was here with some, she was like helping horses at some, I forgot the name. But anyway, so she was out of town, but they people that do jiu-jitsu will typically find a place. They'll look like, I'm going to this town. I wonder if there's a place there I can train. So we'll get people from California and all over the place to kind of come in. That
are visiting Guthrie or the area.
Hang out with us for a few months, and then they go off and do their own thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So,
yeah, very cool. That's awesome. Well, I think it's neat. I learned definitely some new things, which is always the goal. So you got a Facebook page. We featured that, and of course the website. So if anybody has any questions, and like we talked about, a week is free, right? Did I get that right?
Yep.
Okay, so just go in and check it out. No obligations or pressure, just to see if you there's a good fit for you. So, but it sounds like there's really something for everybody. Yeah, Did I see childcare? We didn't cover that.
Yeah, so we actually have like a whole daycare on the second floor on Monday, Wednesday, Friday nights. We have a couple of young ladies that will watch your kids that way. Cause some people, it's like, man, I want to train, but I've got my kids. I can't. Well, this allows you to.
I used to take my girls to the Y years ago when they were little bitty.
It's a big secure room that's got like Roku TVs and toys and stuff that they can just kind of play while you're working out or whatever.
That's awesome.
And
trying to make it as easy as possible, especially for working parents, single parents, whatever it may be.
Absolutely. And I know we're just come out of summer, but for sure summer, those camps, that camp started as kind of like we were gonna do this and that, and then the day of I was like, we're going to do this. And I was like, we're just going to teach kids SWAT tactics.
I feel like I need to send obs.
And my wife
I felt like my 8-year-old, almost 9-year-old would love this.
Oh, they love it.
She got really into Guthrie High School wrestling.
Oh, yeah?
I took her to a match last year. We went to go watch some friends, and she was so into it. But now I asked her if she wanted to wrestle. She said no. But she is like really interested in it. Yeah. So she said, Mom, are we going to go and watch wrestling this year? So anyway, I'm just saying she would probably love SWAT camp.
Yeah.
So I need to look at that for her.
There's actually a lot of girls, because that's the question I get a lot. Are girls allowed? I'm like, well, of course. We have a ton of girls that do it. They love getting it.
There's not a no girls allowed sign on the window.
No.
That's good.
They're usually the craziest ones. So they're fiery.
Hey, now. I can totally see that. I've got 2 of them.
If you watch a females jiu-jitsu competition, you will be like, girls get after it. So they're scary.
A lot of frustrations, David. Well, that's why I'm sitting here going, maybe I would benefit. No, it sounds amazing that there's health benefits, cardio benefits, and mental benefits from what I've learned.
And everybody there is, and it's kind of the thing is everybody there, whether you've got guys down the weight room, like everyone there is very good. Like no one's like leave me alone. Like everybody's like wanting to help you if you want to learn something or
awesome.
do something. Absolutely.
Which I feel like is just the spirit of Guthrie.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like everywhere is, you know, you can walk in somewhere and people are usually very friendly and helpful. That's what we hope. And that's definitely what I feel walking around and stuff. So you guys just add to that. So
we try to make it really welcoming and easy for everybody.
Very cool.
No ego. Just come in and just train. Have fun.
That's cool. Awesome. Well, there you have it. Is there anything else you want to add?
No,
cover a lot of it.
I think we covered.
Well, I know we don't have you in Guthrie as like an actual resident, but you are pouring into our community and our kids and adults. So I love that. I love that Guthrie's like your second home, and I'm excited to see what you guys do with the event center too.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Very, very cool.
Very good.
So yes, well, thank you for spending time with me today.
For sure.
Thank you for our friends at Top Tier, and check out their website and Facebook and see if there's a class or something that you can get involved in. So, all right. Thanks, David, for being my guest today. I appreciate it. You can wave again. Yes, you can wave for those watching on YouTube. So, all right, everyone, take care. Go follow Top Tier, ask them questions, and see how you can get involved. Have a great rest of your day, week, whenever you're watching this, and we'll catch you next time for Chamber Vibes.
Thanks for listening to the Chamber Vibes podcast from Second Banana Media Studios in beautiful downtown Guthrie, America. Be sure and check out a new episode every other Monday. And until then, remember to choose Guthrie.